What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be installing the Perrin pipe here that connects to the airbox, and I also got a K&N filter that I'll be replacing with the original, and they just like a shitty little oil cap to replace the OEM one. The reason why I'm going with this upgrade and the air filter instead of a cold air intake is because I am actually going to be tuning the car with the OFT, and I don't think it is compatible with the cold air intake. And also I read that online the airboxes, the stock airboxes on the BRZs are just as good as the cold air intakes. It really makes no difference. So I just opted for this instead, get something else. And the red also matches the head cover for the engine, and I'll show you that in a second. Alright, so here's the engine cover. And basically what we're going to be replacing is the inlet hose here into the airbox. And first we're going to be also removing the sound tube, which connects all the way down to the bottom. And yeah, so first I'm going to start with unscrewing the clamps, and then I'm going to try to get this one out. I know this thing's going to be a bitch to get out, but I'll try to get that out first and then I'll come back. Alright, so I managed to disconnect it right here. Took it off the clamp there, and then unloosen these two clamps up, that one and that one, so it was like this. So I got that one off now, and now gonna be removing the sound tube. Put this on the ground. And basically for the sound tube is going to be the 10mm nut here holding it in, and I think the other one's right there. Yeah, so there's two, so one back there and one right here. This one might be a little bit hard, but if you get an extension on the ratchet with the socket, should be pretty easy. And I don't think there's any clips because this is just hanging loose for now. And yeah, I'll take this off and I'll be right back. Alright, so both clips are off now, and it's just hanging loose. I think there's a clip right here. I think we just pulled that one off, and there should be one more way down there somewhere. That's pretty dark, but there's also another clip like these as well where you can just pop it off at the bottom, I think. I'm gonna try to do that, and then here's the sound tube off now. After disconnecting the clip, I accidentally ripped that one off, but I don't think it really matters anymore. But at the bottom there's a little hole right behind here, and basically that's it. You just pull it out, and here's the connector. We will be reusing this part of it, so we just gotta take the clamp off here, and then we'll take this off. Basically this has to go back in, and it also came with a little cover to put right here, so gonna be doing that. The whole thing is off now. It's hot in here, bro. There it is. So here's the sound tube off now. Put that there. And as for the screws, where they went before holding it in, I'm just gonna be screwing them back in so it doesn't look open like this. So yeah. Alright, so here is the part that I removed. It was basically right here. Took the clamp off and then took that out. And basically Perrin gives you this little grommet or nub thing to cover. Basically it's just to block air, and then we'll plug this back into that little hole at the very bottom over there. So I'm just gonna put my hand there and try and find the hole, and I'll plug it back in. Alright, so now with that off, before I put the actual tube in place, I'm gonna be replacing the air filter in here. And it's easier now. There's space to move this thing. And yeah, let me just remove it and I'll put the new one in. Alright, so we got the air filter in, and just make sure when you're closing the airbox that everything is pretty flush in, and these two clips here should close pretty easily. You shouldn't have to force it in or anything like that. And if it's lined up, it'll be good. And now let's get with the tube. Right, so we're back now, and I was able to slide the tube in relatively easily. It did come with two new clamps here when you order the tube, so I use those like brand new. Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna fit that in, tighten that, put this back in, tighten this one. And one thing it said on the instructions was to make sure that the tube is actually not rubbing on the serpentine belt. So when you install it, just like when you tighten it, hold it up a little bit. And I think this should be good enough. And it's not rubbing here either. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these in, and then plug this back in, put the clamp back on, and we'll see. Alright, so I got the tube on. I wasn't really sure how hard to tighten it, but like I did it to a point where it's like, it was starting to get tight, and I just did it a little bit more after that. But I think the distance is good enough here. That one's back in now. This thing is like maxed out. Like I squeezed this thing all the way just to fit it into there. It was really tight. Here's the clearance between the hose and the belt. I think that should be okay. I don't think it's gonna touch or anything. Here's this one, tightened it as well, lined it up, and yeah, the red does match the cover. I like that, it looks pretty sick. So I'm gonna start it, and then we'll see how it runs, see if there's anything wrong. Alright, the car is running now. Looks pretty good there, doesn't look like it'll touch. Checking for any leaks. Oh, it's coming through here, okay. I think the computer should adjust because there is so much more air going into here now. And hopefully everything will be okay. Maybe I'll tighten the clamps a little bit more. Should be in like good spots anyways. And that one again, but yeah. Alright, so everything seems to be running fine. I just readjusted the hose a bit to fit a bit better. Retightened them. I think the gap here was okay. It wasn't touching. It's not rubbing anywhere there. And now I'm going to be replacing the oil cap with this one. So yeah. Got the cap on. The K&N filter also came with a sticker, so like, why not just put it on? Rice this thing out a little bit more. Has the K&N oil filter, and now the air filter. There's the little eBay oil cap. But yeah, that is it for this video. Install was pretty easy, as long as you have the tools and stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the old stuff. Probably just store it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.